This is Mikey T, the movie star, and I'm outdoors. Pay attention. I'm not saying I'm outside. I'm telling you that I'm outdoors.
We outside. Yeah, that's right.
That is a non-aggressive fashion. Outdoors. I'm in Coney Island, so I'm going to be on my best behavior. Y'all remember what happened when I was in Philly? I'm not up in Nathan's trying to get a hot dog here. I got the invite.
That's
We're
right.
here with Coney Soprano.
Thanks.
Because guess what? HBO doesn't make that show no more. So I said if HBO doesn't make that show no more, I'm going to go make a movie. So I'm here with Gorilla Nems, and I'm here with a man that's got like 1 billion views. We're going to show you how to conduct a proper interview. What's going on, Nems? I appreciate the chance to speak with you today.
Enjoying life. Be in front of the Fuck Your Life store with Coney Island, and we having a good time. One of the only rappers that smiles and jokes. You know what I'm saying? That's what life is about, man. What happened in Philly, though, man?
Oh, I went out to Philly.
I didn't watch the thing. I seen a little clip of him choking you out.
Well, I mean, he ran up on me. He was trying to smack me, right? So he just.
It was an interview with him?
Nah, it wasn't an interview with him. I was just getting done with some work, so I went to go get a Philly cheesesteak. I went out to Max's.
I did notice where it was, though, Max's. And I do go to Philly a lot, and I know Max's is the worst spot you can go for a cheesesteak if somebody's looking for you from Philly.
But it's also the best spot if you want the best. You want the best Philly cheesesteak. And I wasn't doing that to disrespect A.R. Rab's brother, Leak Moss.
Yeah.
It's just something that I really do on a regular basis. It was like 11 o'clock in the morning, so honestly, I shouldn't have been out there.
You already had beef with him?
Yeah, we had kind of had beef.
Why?
He started going at it with Dark Low, and I took Dark Low's side. Like, what are you doing?
Leak Moss went after Dark Low?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And he came out there, and he wanted to smack me. So I was like, yo, it's not going down like that. I should have really realistically just talked it out with him that day, but maybe I was being a little aggressive.
Okay.
Is Coney Island just like every other hood? Tell me, Nems, what is it really like living in Coney Island?
Coney Island is kind of different. Coney Island is world famous. Everybody knows of Coney Island. And when you think of Coney Island, you think of like the rides. These rides is like, this is like the first amusement park ever. Like in the 1900s, this shit was like Disney. Also, this is like where the mob is from. Like back in the days, this is where Al Capone got his face cut. That's why he got the name Scarface, because he caught $1.50 out here. Lucky Luciano over here, big mob murders. There's like a famous picture where the mobster's holding the ace of spades in his hand, dead. That was right up the block from here. So, everybody knows of Coney Island, but they don't know that the ride is Stillwell Avenue right there. That's where the train is. So the ride is this way. The neighborhood is this way, which is 3 avenues, 21 blocks.
Is it mostly row housing, or is it a lot of project housing?
Nothing but projects. The row houses is not like Atlantic City. I guess back in the day they had row housing, but there's none of that no more. It's all projects. Every block is a different project out here. There's like 10 to 20 different projects out here on every block.
So I want you to tell me a little bit about your early life growing up in Coney Island before moving to Staten Island.
So Coney Island, I've been here since birth. Dwyer Projects, so Dwyer Gardens houses. That's at the end of Coney Island. Like I said, Coney Island's 3 avenues, 21 blocks. So, growing up out here was like royalty because my family was heavy in the streets. And around 13, my mother actually saved up enough did a thing and bought a house. And we moved to Staten Island right when I was getting into high school, like the end of 8th grade, going into 9th grade. And I went to high school for like a year or 2 over there, and I got a superintendent suspension. I couldn't go to any New York public high school. So I had to go to my grandparents in the Poconos, and that's where I started writing raps. And then I came back to Staten Island when I dropped out of high school, and then my mother lost the house. So probably from 13 to 18, we were in Staten Island, and 18, moved back to Coney Island, and I just stayed here until recently. Not recently, a couple of years ago.
How did you know that you didn't want a normal life working a job?
I don't know. That shit was just instilled in me from early. Like I knew that that's not the type of life I wanted to live. I always was into wrestling when I was a kid. I don't really watch wrestling no more. But I knew I either wanted to be a rapper or a wrestler for some reason when I was a kid. And my mother was always gone. I was the only child. I have a huge family. My cousins are like my brothers. But I would just be home alone, fucking making mixtapes, fucking rapping in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? So it just wound up being rap.
It gets a little bit more controversial than that. Early on you got kicked out of school for, was it setting a fire?
Setting a fire, absolutely. I was talking to a girl, and I fucking just lit a piece of like paper on the wall, and just talking, just fucking around, flicking my light, and the whole shit went up. Not the school, just the paper, and they gave me a superintendent suspension for arson. And I couldn't go to, like I said, I couldn't go to no New York public high school for a whole year. So my moms ain't had money to put me in private school, so she sent me to the Poconos, which was one of the best things. Everything happens for a reason.
So was it prior to the school fire that you actually got into a fight with your principal, or was it your dean?
Nah, that was after, when I came back. When I came back, I punched one of the teachers in the face. Might have been the dean, I don't know. I don't remember at this point. I did a lot of drugs in between them. But I definitely punched the teacher in the face, and then they was just like, all right, but you're done. And that's when I dropped out of school.
Yep, so you eventually come back to Coney Island. Like, how did it feel coming home and pimping out your old apartment? And I mean pimping like Pimp My Ride exhibit.
Yeah. Nah, I came back to the crib. My mother had given up the apartment, project apartments, you don't just give up. So she left it with my uncle. So when I moved back in with him, like I said, my family was heavy in the streets, so I would see people come to the door. My uncle was serving them. At the time, my mom's was going in and out of rehab, so I was basically had on the own to fend for myself out here. And I just started running the streets like any average 18-year-old would. And I was on my own, making my own money, selling ecstasy, selling weed, whatever I could to get by. And then I started taking mad ecstasy back then. And that's when I had my first deal with Def Jam.
A lot of rappers get criticism when fans don't understand like why they want to go back to their original environment. I can see that sitting in your store here today, that, you've never turned your back on where you come from. Can you explain to me why you think it's important to give back to your community?
Well, really, like, I didn't choose to come back after Staten Island. Like, I would have loved to stay in Staten Island and live the suburb life. You know what I'm saying? But my mother lost the house. She relapsed. She was a drug addict. She got clean for a long time, and then she relapsed. So she lost the house, and we was back over here. So it wasn't like it was a choice, like, yo, I'm going back to the hood. It was like, yeah, damn, we going back to the hood. And I just always knew that there wasn't no rappers that came out of here. There wasn't any rapper that came out of here. There was like ball players, Stephon, Sebastian Telfair, now Lance Stevenson, Isaiah Whitehead, a couple others, but there was never no rapper that came out of here that was signed, like officially signed. So I always knew that there was, Bed-Stuy got Biggie, Jay-Z, East New York, Uncle Murder. Every neighborhood in Brooklyn had a rapper that was signed and was in the game officially. And I knew Coney Island didn't have that. So I always was like, yo, this is a world famous neighborhood over here. I gotta put on for this neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? Like, Big ain't even shout us out in Brooklyn's finest. That shit got me tight. We the only neighborhood in Brooklyn that ain't get shouted out. I was like, yo, I gotta put on for this neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? And like with my family running things, and also with me just running around, like I was good on every block out here because I moved dolo. However I move, I move dolo. If there's a problem, I handle it dolo. Yeah, I have family, I have friends that will hold me down, but for the most part, when you see me, you would see me roaming around these streets dolo. And so I was cool on every block, good on every block. And I was like, I got to represent for out here, man.
So what was your first opportunity when it came to getting into music?
The first opportunity was I was battling. See, back then, before social media, it was like you just had to be outside in New York City. And every night, or every week they would have battles, but it wasn't like Fight Club or nothing. It was just like one night battle. You had to battle like fucking 8 people in one night and win maybe $100. And that's what I started doing and getting my name known. And I started winning these competitions, one called Bragging Rights, and one, just different battles. And then you would link up with other rappers from throughout the city. And then I met Rob Love, who was maybe an A&R or somebody higher up at Def Jam. And he gave me his card and was like, yo, we start a new label. Come up. And then I went up there and I met with, they had some shit called Spit Records. It was Stretch Armstrong's label. And they wanted to sign, they had Joe Button, this other kid, Jinx the Juvie, and then they had me. And I had a partner, George Burns. And so they was like, yo, we want to sign y'all. You know what I'm saying? And then 9/11 had happened. And my partner just bugged out and thought the world was going to end. And then he stopped rapping he started rapping like a Christian rapper. And I was like, nah, I ain't rapping that. I'm rapping regular. And they was like, yo, we don't want y'all separately. We want y'all together as a group. And then they just stopped. We fucked up that opportunity. And then it was a while. Then I started doing the Fight Club. So the Def Jam shit was really like my first step in the game. And then once that fell through, I was like, all right, back to this battle shit. I was never really a battle rapper. I used the bars from songs I would do and just battle people with it, and I would just beat them. You know what I'm saying? And then I became the all-time champ at Fight Club.
Yeah, that's crazy. So the deal with Def Jam was actually a duo deal? Like
a group. Nems and George Burns. That was the group name. Facts.
That's what's up, man. So let's talk about Fight Club, where you said, you were known as the all-time champ.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a few battles that I want to talk about, but are there any artists that you remember that you faced, like, that are hitting you off the top of the head you want to talk about?
Well, I remember my 20th win was against, his name was Rain Man at the time, but his name is R.J. Payne. R.J. Payne is incredible. He's nice. He's ill. And at the time, he was just as ill. You know what I'm saying? He was my 20th win. I remember that. I remember jumping on top of the pool table and being like, yo, it's my 20th win. You motherfuckers in here don't even got double digits wins over here. And I'm on my 20th. Nobody in here can fuck with me. And, yeah, but I don't remember a lot of the battles. I was on heavy drugs when I was doing the Fight Club. I was on the run. I did a robbery out here. And I had gotten caught, bailed out, and then I just was like, nah, I ain't turning myself back in. I'm not going to my next court date. So I stayed on the run for like 4 years. And in that 4 years is when I started doing the Fight Club shit, getting heavy into drugs, all types of shit. I mean, I didn't smoke crack. I didn't shoot needles, but everything else I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Xanax, fucking sniffing, man, coke, dope, all types of shit. And I was just beating everybody. And it just was like, I don't remember a lot of this shit. A lot of people I met in the years after that, like, yo, I'm thinking this is my first time meeting them. And they're fucking like, yo, we hung out before. We met at Fight Club. We fucking hung out. And I'm like, damn.
I judged your battle.
Yeah. And I'm like, damn, homie, I thought this was my first time meeting you. My bad. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it.
So I got to ask, man, like, how did you decide from, spitting raps that you were going to get into MC battling?
I knew that battling was an easier way. So when I went to the Poconos, how I started writing raps out there is the kids in that school were battling each other. But I didn't know anybody. I was from New York, and I just went to school out there. Every weekend, I would take the bus and come home to my mother's crib in Staten Island. So I didn't really make friends. I would just go to school, go to my grandparents' house after school, and have nothing to do. So I would just started writing raps, and the kids were battling. And I was like, I know I could come up with some iller shit than these kids in the school. So like the last day of school, I saved up like a year's worth of my bars, and I was like, yo, I rap. And I battled the best kid in the school, and I finished him like bad, where the whole school was like crazy. Like they didn't even know I existed because I was just always mad quiet. And then, when I went back to that school after the summer was over, because I was back home in Staten Island, everybody in the school knew me, and it was a great feeling. So I wrote my first rap was a battle rap. So I knew that battle rap was an easier way to get your name known than handing out CDs or having people listen to your music that don't know who you are. So my partner, when the kid George Burns, he would stay home, make beats, write the raps, and I would be the one really going outside and winning the battles. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna get the name up, and then you just keep making the songs, and we fucking, then we'll have a bunch of songs on deck when the opportunity comes.
Damn, the Def Jam deal ultimately didn't work out, though, because your two styles kind of drifted apart.
Now we stayed cool for a while. We stayed cool for a minute, and but he always was on some bug out shit. That was, like he started rapping for Christian rap, and then he came back after we already fucked up the Def Jam shit, and then he always was on some bug out shit. I don't know. The kid was a fucking weirdo. The George Burns guy. Then he moved to Florida, had kids, and we just drifted apart. I stayed putting in the work, and I guess he just stayed not.
Normally an artist won't just get a chance to participate in a league like this off the rip. Like, how did you even end up being involved with the Fight Club in the first place?
My man, this kid named Laro, who was like a singer. He hit me one day and was like, yo, they got some. So I told you, I was battling in New York, so every week was a new battle. So he was like, yo, they got some battle tonight, man. I want to bring you. And I was like, nah, I don't feel good. He was like, yo, I'm going to pull up. I got a bunch of Xanax. Just take some. I was like, all right, pull up. Took mad Xanax, and I just went. I won. I won the battle they put me in, and I thought that was it. And then they called me like a week later, like, yo, we having that Fight Club shit again. We want you to come back. And then I went back. I won. I just kept going back and winning and winning and winning. And I found out, like, yo, it's just some industry shit. It's not even open to the public. But that guy, Laro, he must have had some connections, and he brought me in there. And once I got in there and was winning, it was already lit.
Yeah, man. Fight Club was a little too real for MTV, so they put it on MTV2.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I know a couple of acts who were on the show, you know what I mean? The joint hit television, and they launched their careers. Can you tell me about showing up to that whole Fight Club event? Were you around different acts like
Absolutely.
Remy, Sirius? You're obviously around Math.
So the Remy battle, when she battled Lady Luck, I was supposed to battle Lady Luck, not her, that night. So what happened? When I used to do Fight Club, I used to come from Coney Island, go, I'd be around I'd be around here, chilling, hanging out, getting high, smoking weed, just outside. And I would tell people, yo, I'm going to battle. Y'all want to roll? So whoever would want to roll with me, we would go. Sometimes we would go 2 deep. Sometimes we would go 20 deep. You know what I'm saying? Whoever wanted to roll would just roll with me. And then we would go in there. We would take the train or take a cab or get a ride, whatever it was. And I would battle. And I would bet on myself, or the peoples I was with would bet on me, or whatever the case. And once I won and won the money, we was like, all right, we out. We don't give a fuck about watching any of the other battles. I don't care about these people. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was, I was the all-time champ at this time. I probably had like 9, 10 wins. I don't know. And Lady Luck, they wanted me to battle Lady Luck. And somebody was like, yo, I got 10 racks on Nems versus Lady Luck. But I already won my money and left that night. And Remy just happened to be there and was like, nah, I got you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that happened. But I was originally supposed to battle Lady Luck from what I heard, from what people told me. And but nah, Fight Club, the whole shit was, it wasn't a little studio. It was like a studio maybe the size of this store, maybe a little bigger. And it would just be packed. Like it was standing room only. It would be filled with rappers, their whole crews, executives, magazines, TV shows, all types of shit. And as soon as I would walk in, I would just yell, fuck your life. And then, I always had, I would always be super high, and I just didn't give a fuck. And I always knew that the people I was with was ready to get down with me and fight and do anything. So I always had that bravado with me. And plus, once you step in that building, you got to put on your rapper mask, like your MC mask, and also your just thug mask, because anything could go down in there. We would just, it would just get sometimes crazy, but a lot of the rappers already knew. I already was cool with all these people. So, but it was definitely a tense environment when you got in there. Definitely. Sirius Jones came already when I was already, because I had stopped going there. Once I won like a couple times, it was some weird shit, because then after the first like 5 to 10 weeks, it was run by Riggs Morales from Shady. He started it. And then he stopped fucking with it for some reason. And he told me, yo, Nems, I don't fuck with it no more. So it just became like dudes from Uptown. I was hustling. They started running the show. And then they came to me, was like, yo, Nems, we want, we starting like Fight Club Records. We want you to be down with it. But I already was in talks with Riggs and Shady. They wanted to develop me as one of their artists. So I was like, man, I'm kind of fucking with Riggs over here. And then it was, they started fixing battles against me. From what I heard, I don't have concrete proof, but they would, people would tell me, like, yo, all three of the judges would come up to me and be like, yo, we all voted for you, and they called the other dude's name. So they started fixing battles, and that's when I stopped fucking with them a little bit, and then and stopped going up there as much. And that's when like dudes like Sirius Jones started coming around. But in the beginning, it wasn't really, they wasn't there. Remy was there in the beginning. And the whole shit on MTV, that came out after I got caught for my felony, for the robbery charge. I had to do a 1.5 to 4.5. So when I got caught, I went up north, and then they started showing the battles on TV. So it worked out perfect for me. It kept my buzz going while I was locked up. I came home, and the shit had been playing on MTV every night when I was in jail. So it was like perfect for my buzz. I came out and had a crazy buzz going already.
You said tense. I heard RJ Payne say he recalled battling you on Fight Club. He actually told my guy Panda Chop that things were about to go left with y'all. He said your bars were so disrespectful that it almost led to a fight. Is that true?
I remember, for some reason, I think I remember it because it was my 20th win, and also my tooth had come out, my front tooth. So all my people was like, yo, don't battle your fucking tooth up. I was like, nah, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm Nems. I'm Nems Gutter. That was my name, but I wasn't Gorilla Nems. I was skinny. I was Nems Gutter. I was like, I don't give a fuck. And I remember when I beat him, like I said, I stood on the table. And after I beat him, he was like, I can't lose to this guy. He only got a tooth. I was like, yeah, that's from kissing your fucking mother. You know what I'm saying? But I was always ready to fight when I was in there. Tensions was always high. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was always a mutual respect. Me and RJ got a couple of joints done now, recently. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no real beef. It was just a tense situation. Everybody wanted to be the top guy in there. And I was the top guy in there.
He even said the legend Pee Wee Kirkland calmed y'all down. Is it true that happened?
Pee Wee Kirkland was always in there. So for somebody like from Philly that's coming there, he's going to remember better than me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was there every week. Everything just gets mashed together in my mind. So I don't fucking remember. But Pee Wee Kirkland was always in there, 100%. So that sounds about right.
When you see someone like Math Hoffa that you battled, is it kind of surreal? Like, I can't believe Math Hoffa has the hottest podcast on the internet, and he started with me.
Nah. I salute him. I was on there. I was on the podcast.
Facts.
I had a dope episode up there. It was like more of us. Because for years, I was like, man, fuck Math Hoffa. Because for a while, when I came home, YouTube had just come out. And there was only one out of my 20 plus. Hey, yo, gotta quiet down out there. I hear you clearly. So
appreciate you, man.
Out of the 20 plus battles, none of them shits was on fucking YouTube except one, Nems versus Math Hoffa, and it said Math destroys Nems. So I'm like, I know the Fight Club people don't give the footage out. They don't give the footage to nobody. Nobody has battles. Even if you look now, they don't have no battles from Fight Club. You can't find them. So how does it mysteriously wind up in Math Hoffa's thing where he puts like more round? If you notice, it went 4 rounds, I believe. They show like 4 of his rounds and only 3 of mine, or 2 of his rounds, 1 of mine. I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, you ain't post when I come back? How you destroy me and don't show my rebuttal? But so when I seen him, when I came out, I was like, yo, what's up with that? He was like, and that's, again, they started fixing battles. And when you go to Fight Club, they never told you who you was battling. They would just be like, all right, next up, Nems versus. But yeah, I told him. He was like, nah, that goes again. Like, they were fixing battles. Like, they told Math he was battling me. It's unanimous. Yeah. And also, they told Math he was battling me. He had rounds of disrespectful shit where I didn't even know who he was when I battled him. But since then, I see Math mad times. It's water under the bridge. He got the dopest podcast, and he got the most successful right now. But the dopest podcast is Outside with Gorilla Nems, because we really be outside in Coney Island. You heard? But Math is my guy. Nothing but the best.
Yeah, salute, man. I just wanted to ask you, like, what type of inspiration is that, you know, for the youth of Brooklyn to see that, you know, both of you guys thriving at this point in time?
Absolutely, it shows. You know, you could come from the bottoms and make it. That's why I put this store here, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't live out here no more. I own a house. I'm chilling now. I don't have to be out here, but I choose to show the kids from this community. Because when I was coming up, ain't nobody had no fucking store out here. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. And also, I would meet people here for merch before I had this store. You know what I'm saying? I would drop shit every week. And people would meet. And then after the Bing Bong shit and all of that, people would start to just come in here just to see the fucking block. And I was like, yo, I'm going to capitalize on this. You know what I'm saying? Put a store here. So when they come see the block, they spend some money too.
Facts. We're going to talk about that. What did you think of Matt taking a comedic approach with you rather than being aggressive?
Smart. You can't out-aggress me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the kid that, yo, it's funny that back then I was known as the most disrespectful rapper, and now my shit is don't ever disrespect me. Sometimes I look at that like, yo, that's crazy how that shit played out. And it wasn't even like a thing in my mind where I was trying to make that happen consciously. But it was smart. Like, when you battling me, especially in Fight Club, it was like, you can't out-aggress me. You can't out-disrespect me. So he was smart. He took the comedic approach. I haven't watched that battle in mad long. I might have to watch that again. But he killed it. He killed that shit. I was tight when I used to see that shit. Little bitch, little bitch. But it was smart. You know what I'm saying? He did what he had to do.
Were you thinking back then that one bad battle could ruin your career, or were you just thinking, I want to battle the nicest dudes out?
I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to get my name out there. And a lot of times, good, bad, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I had like maybe 3, 4 losses in Fight Club, and those losses taught me more than the actual wins. Because when I win, it's just like, all right, I was supposed to win. When I lost, I really got tight, and I was like, oh, I gotta come 10 times harder than the last shit, that made me really go and sit and write some crazy shit for the next battle to make sure I didn't lose and get embarrassed like that. Because I was embarrassed. And if I'm the king of something and I claim I'm the nicest, if I take an L, then you take all my fucking credibility. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it just made me go harder.
Back then, if you lost a battle like Freeway did to Cassidy,
that was crazy though. That's different. See, with that, Cassidy and Freeway, it was like a one-sided battle. You had homie didn't even rhyme and said, don't want to beat. But when I would lose, it was like it would go to the 4th round. You know what I'm saying? There's only 3 rounds in Fight Club. If we go to the 4th, that means the first 3 were mad close.
Sudden death.
Yeah, so it wasn't like you got it destroyed, like it says in the fucking description. You know what I'm saying? Of mad shit. So it wasn't that bad of a loss. You lost, but people still fucked with you and recognized your talent.
Damn, so I wanted to ask you, were you ready for Math in that sudden death?
Absolutely not. I was fucking high off mad cocaine. I remember. That was like, I was not ready at all. Like, I just wanted to, like, just rhyme, win some money, and get the fuck out of there. You know what I'm saying? I remember that night. That's one of the nights I remember because, see, when you take Xanax makes you feel like you're ready to fight and, like, whatever. You don't give a fuck. When you're on cocaine, it makes you kind of like timid, not as aggressive as being on Xanax and shit like that. So I remember that night when I battled, and I had like an 8 ball. I was just taking sniffs in between, like, and then when they call my name, you know, I can't take a bump in front of everybody. So, you know, I wanted more, but I couldn't. I was just like more timid, and I just wanted to get the battle over with. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
You know, Cassidy caught a lot of criticism for saying I'm 5,000 and 0. You know, with the battles that you've seen from him, do you agree with Cassidy on that?
I never really, besides the Freeway shit, I never really seen a Cassidy battle. I know he got the new shits. I think I seen a battle with him recently.
He did Goods.
I think he lost.
Goods, Arsenal, Hitman, Holla.
Yeah, he lost. The one I seen, he lost. He was like spitting like, he sounded like old, like dated, in my opinion. But Cassidy, you can never take nothing away from Cassidy. Cassidy's nice. But definitely not 5,000. There's nobody that's 5,000 to know. When you really battle and you outside like doing that, Nobody's 5,000. No, you're always gonna meet your match somewhere. It might not be it might be not be filmed, but you're gonna meet your match somewhere.
You just said it. It's embarrassing to lose. Like, why do you have no problem acknowledging that you've lost?
Because I'm winning at life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when you win and you're successful, something like that don't bother you. You know what I'm saying? That made me who I am. That made me the person I am today. If I didn't go through shit like that, I wouldn't necessarily be the person I am today, man. You learn a lot off of a loss. A loss makes you realize that you're not superhuman. You're not fucking, and there's a strength and vulnerability. Everybody in the fucking world takes a loss. Everybody. Everybody in this room, everybody in this neighborhood, everybody in the fucking world takes a loss. Ain't nothing wrong with a loss. But when you're younger, when you're 18, 19, a loss is the end of the world. Especially when I'm battling Fight Club. When you look back, you realize, like, that shit wasn't nothing. That shit made me way stronger. I'm glad I took that L. Straight like that.
You've battled people who have battled Eminem. Tell us about the battle with Marv 1.
That's one battle. If it wasn't filmed, I wouldn't have remembered that all. I met Alchemist that night, and years later, I met Alchemist again and was like, yo, what up? Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan. He's like, bro, we was hanging out in Detroit. I judged your battle. I was like, oh, shit, my bad. Razkaz was there that night, too. Same thing with Razkaz. And these is like my favorite. Alchemist, one of my favorite producers. Razkaz, one of my favorite rappers, who I'm honored to call peer now. Both of them guys. But again, I remember we went up to Fight Club. So Proof, and this is when D12 is fucking platinum, on top of the world. I'm on the phone with Proof, Bizarre, on a daily basis, just kicking it like we homeboys for hours, talking about rap, talking about life. They were the coolest guys, man. Especially, like, Biz is still my man, Bizarre. Proof, amazing person. When you were with him, it was like, yo, he got you. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, yo, we're throwing a Fight Club in Detroit. We want you to come battle. And I was like, no problem. I'm there. And then I guess the Fight Club guys from out here started catching wind of it. And one night, International P called me and was like, yo, we don't want you to go over there. But I already had booked the van to drive over there, had my peoples ready. And I think they was like, yo, come over here to the Fight Club in New York. We'll give you $1,000 to not go. I rented the van, went, picked up the $1,000, and I left right to Detroit. So I'm in the back of this fucking church van. All my peoples is in the chairs. I'm in the back where the luggage goes, sniffing coke, popping Xanax, sniffing coke for 8 hours. We get to the fucking Detroit. I lay in the bed, and I'm out cold for 4 days. Right? I don't remember nothing about the trip. I just remember them waking me up, saying, yo, you got a battle. Like, kind of like Weekend at Bernie's, fucking bringing me in the van to the battle. I don't know how I was standing. I don't remember nothing about that battle. I just remember fucking seeing it. Like, I don't even remember this happening. And then, and that's one of my, most popular battles. But Marv 1, I've been to Detroit mad times after that. The Marv 1 is my guy, Quest McCody, the whole D12. They were really holding us down. Like, they looked at Bizarre like a joke rapper and stuff like that. Bizarre and his peoples had mad guns with us wherever we went. Like, we were well protected in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? We was on 7 Mile, 6 Mile. We was all over the place, and they was holding us down out there. And it was, the times I do remember, it's nothing but great things. We fucking singing R&B. This video of me, Proof, and my crew fucking singing fucking R&B in the middle of like 7 Mile or some shit like that. Proof was the man, Bizarre was the man. It was always love, and I always had a good time. But yeah, Marv 1, my guy. But yeah, I don't remember shit about that battle that night.
I just thought it was crazy that Proof is there hosting the battle.
Facts.
Like, that's classic. Bizarre right there beside him. How was Proof as a battle rap host?
You know what? I could see why he was loved so much in Detroit. Because it was like, he was respected and maybe even feared a little, but it wasn't, he was also loved. It was like he had all three of those things. He was loved, feared, and respected. You know what I'm saying? And, but the love overpowered most of the shit. When you were with Proof, it was like, you were golden. And that's why when I look back, and I was locked up when he passed, man, and I'm mad. Because they told me, it was like, yo, my peoples was like, yo, we going to the funeral, and I wasn't able to fucking go. And it was, heartbreaking. But proof, you could see why he was so revered when you hung around him, especially in Detroit, because he was that guy. He was that guy. Everybody loved him.
So did you end up on 8 Mile? And is it crazy like that on 8 Mile?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really like that out there. I don't know if it was 8 Mile, because out there it's like they got 8 Mile, 6 Mile, 7 Mile, 5 Mile, whatever the fuck. So, we was definitely outside. I know we was definitely on 7 Mile. I don't know if we went to like Eminem's trail. We didn't do none of that. But it's definitely crazy out there. And it's definitely, and this is before they hit bankruptcy. You know what I'm saying? Like later on, like in the 2000s, the Detroit went bankrupt and then there's mad deserted houses. This is before that. And it was super, like, dangerous out there. Like, I'm from New York. I could tell when something's dangerous. I know when I'm somewhere I'm not supposed to be. And I was everywhere I wasn't supposed to be in Detroit. But we were with D12 at the height of D12. And they held us down like bodyguards. You know what I'm saying? We were golden out there. And it was dope to see a part of the country that is dangerous. And it's dangerous, but you're good. It's pretty dope. It's like you guys right now in Coney Island. These fucking guys are golden with me.
We're on Mermaid right
exactly.
now. We're on
16th and Mermaid.
16th and Mermaid.
Facts.
But I noticed that you could see, what was it? You could see 16th and 19th and 17th. Where's 18th?
There's no 18th.
There is no 18th in Mermaid.
There's like 3 blocks in Coney Island they don't have. So it starts from like 15th. There's no 18th. There's no 26th. And there's no 34th. It goes from 15th Street to 37th Street. And there's no those 3 blocks. I don't know why.
No, it's dope to be out here on Mermaid. Man.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you having us
man.
out. It's dope. So can you tell me about the situation with Eminem and Shady Records?
So I was dealing with Riggs from the Fight Club. But he was like, yo, Nems, we fuck with you. Like, I love your style. I love your, everything. And then he would start bringing me up to Shady. I would go up there on a regular basis. I knew everybody. The fucking front desk girl was hot. I forgot her name. But I would go up there, fuck with her, and just hang out. They had some ill shit. It was like you go up in the elevator and there's a big metal door and the guy opens it up. You just see the eye hole. And then once they know when you're good, they open it up and it's like, oh shit, it's a whole record label up here. So I would go up there and Riggs was like, yo, Nems, we're playing music. Then when I came home from jail, Riggs was like, I played him my new album that I made, President's Day, that I put out. And he was like, all right, now you're where I want you to be musically. He's like, we want to start developing you as an artist. But then I started fucking up again with the drugs, going in and out of jail again, but like little skid bids. And then they just stopped returning my calls. Like I went from from an asset to a liability. And they just was like, yo, we love your music, but like, yo, you're fucking up out here, And that's when I was like, damn, I had my opportunity for a second time, now with Def Jam and now with, with Shady, and I had just fucked up. And then that's when I started being homeless out here in Coney Island. I started sleeping on lifeguard chairs on the beach. Not in the summertime neither. In the wintertime, sleeping in staircases in the projects, like a real bum. Getting high every day. Like I just became like a homeless fucking drug addict. And then I was just like, that went on for a little minute. And then when the Shady shit crashed, I just had like a moment of, I don't know, I went on a run for like 3 weeks, man, where I didn't sleep, I didn't fucking shower, I didn't do nothing except get high. You know what I'm saying? I looked crazy. I was like 170 pounds. I'm 6'4", so 170, I'm mad skinny. And I just had like an out of body experience, so like a moment of clarity where I saw myself from the outside looking in, and I was like, yo, you could keep going how you're going, you're gonna be dead real soon. Or you're going to be in jail the rest of your life. Or you can stop everything right now and live your dreams. The next day, I don't know. The next day, I went to my mother's house in Staten Island because she had gotten clean again. She moved to Staten Island. I was like, yo, Mom, let me sleep on your couch. And my mother wasn't fucking with me. She told me, yo, I wish you would just die already so I could stop worrying about you. Because it was that bad. She let me, I guess she seen that I was serious. She let me stay there. I stayed there for like couple months, and I just stopped everything. And from that point on, never touched another drug. I don't drink. Probably been like 15 years now. Nothing. I don't smoke weed. Last thing I got is this fucking vape shit. But other than that, shit just started taking off. Within 10 months, I put out the album President's Day independently with Necro, went on tour, started touring Europe, and then everything just picked up. And then, you know.
Yeah, man, I got to commend you on that as well. You know what I mean? Getting your life together like that. It's amazing. Now, I got to bring you back to go into the Shady Records building.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like? Was it studios or was it more like
Nah, it wasn't
cubicles?
those. It was cubicles. It was fucking. So the guy will open that fucking big metal door with the eye hole. You walk in, and it's like a reception area. So they got the shorty at the desk, and then right from this side, like just like my store, you can see outside the window, but you're on like the 4th, 5th floor, and their store was like on Broadway, right by Canal Street. I think it was 80 Broadway. You know what I'm saying? It really was like 80 seconds from World Trade Center. Not 80 seconds. If you're driving, maybe like a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, who knows? But it was close to the World Trade Center. So that line when he said Shady Records was 80 seconds away. It really was right next to the towers. Not 80 seconds though, but close. And then you go in there at the waiting room, and then, you know, Riggs would come out, get you, bring you to his little office. It was more like big cubicles, but Riggs' office had the diamond 50 Cent plaque, Get Rich or Die Trying, you know, and then they had other shit. They had a listening room, but they ain't really had no studios that I knew of.
What time period was this? Was this after the Obi Trice Cheers album?
This is before Obi Trice Cheers. This is like before when I was doing Fight Club was like 04, 05. And then I was locked up the whole 06. I came home in the beginning of 07. And then, yeah, like, so from like 04 to 07.
Yep. Now, what is a developmental deal? Was that meaning they wanted to develop you as an artist?
Yes. So that means, in my opinion, or how I look at it, is like, they not signing you immediately to a record deal. They're not going to give you a record. You have no track record of putting out music. You know, this is before iTunes. This is like still CD days. They want to start developing you, giving you beats, fucking bringing you, you know, maybe if there's a big tour, putting you on the tour, starting, you know, sign you to that like, you know, if you put out a song and it pops, then we have the option to sign you right there before anybody else. And that was it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I took it as.
Did you get word or did you get any recognition that Eminem had heard your music?
Nah, so what happened, Riggs told me how the structure works. So Riggs told me, I like it, then I play it for Paul. And then if Paul likes it, he plays it for M. And then if M likes it, then boom, you sign. So I think one time I went up there and I had spray paint or a big marker, and I wrote on the door of Shady Records, of their building, like on the thing, yo, Nems, fuck your life, because I was a graffiti artist too, you know what I'm saying? And Paul now, because I'm signed to Paul now, Paul's my guy, fucking told me, he was like, yo, I banned you from the building once I seen that. He was like, you wasn't allowed back up in Shady after you did that. I was like, damn, I didn't even know that. And look, fucking 10, 15 years later, fucking I'm the first artist he signed to Goliath Records with Virgin Music.
That's crazy. So what did they have you on camera out there spray painting, tagging?
I mean,
the
it said
building?
Nems. I don't
Nems with a C?
Nah, with an S. So even if that's a different writer, Nems with a Z, that's my guy. But they didn't need me on camera. They knew it was me. I was going
Obviously.
up there. Yeah. They knew it was me.
Explain this to me. You caught a robbery charge in 2003, bailed out, and then went on the run?
Yes. So my day-to-day basis out here in Coney Island to get high was I would wake up and I would walk right here to Stillwell Avenue. Stillwell Avenue is full of dollar cabs. So they're not legal. So I would just be like, I can rob them because they ain't going to go to the police. They're not supposed to be picking you up anyway. So I have them take me there. I would be like, all right, take me to 35th and Surf. That's like the end of the neighborhood, right? It's desolate over there. It's where the beach is. It's one last project over there, the coconut buildings. And I would just be like, take me over there. Don't pick nobody up. I'll give you $5 when we get over there. So they used to just take me there thinking they're going to, make a quick buck. then when we would get there, I would just rob them. Most of the time, I didn't have nothing on me. I would just either they would give it up, or I would just beat them up until they gave it up. Some days some guys got a couple thousand on them. Sometimes guys got $25 on them. You know what I'm saying? This particular one, the guy had like $50 on him, so I beat him up. So I'm like, they can't tell. They all immigrants. They don't even got their green cards. They're not going to tell police. This guy told the police. So when I was walking after I robbed him, and he pointed at me, I ran, and the police caught up with me later that day because I didn't change my clothes like an idiot. And then I got caught. It was a robbery charge. It was a strong arm robbery. It was a felony, and the judge, put me in. They gave me bail, and my girlfriend bailed me out. And I just was like, oh, I'm not going. I know I'm gonna have to do time. Like I know I'm gonna have to do time when I go into that. And I just was running the streets. I wasn't even really hiding. I just was on the streets. Like I was thugging it out here. Like sometimes I would stay at my girl's house. The warrant squad would come to my mom's house, and I wasn't there. Sometimes I'd be at my mom's house. They would come to my girl's house, and it was just by chance that they wasn't catching me. It wasn't like I was hiding out. I was in the same neighborhood, and I was doing the Fight Club. It was coming out of magazines, everything. Like so, I just was like on some, and then they finally caught up with me. And the judge remembered exactly. It was like it was written down. They didn't see me in 4 years, and was like, "Yo, didn't I tell you if you come in front of me again and you wasn't doing the right thing, I would make sure you do every bit of time I could do for you." You know what I'm saying? And she was like, 1.5 to 4.5 years. I was like, that was the most hopeless feeling because I'm thinking, no, there was a chance I could get out. I don't know. But I was thinking maybe I was getting out. That bitch said 1.5 to it was like the most hopeless feeling. You got your girl, your moms, your people's in the court for you. It's just like they can't do nothing for you. Because I had stayed out of trouble so long, she dropped it to a non-violent. And when you get non-violent, anything under 9 years, you're eligible for the called shock. So it's like in the 50 Cent movie, it's like it's you in jail, but it's like a boot camp. You got to wake up and if you complete this boot camp, it's a 6-month program, but they don't tell you. I stayed 6 months in Rikers, then you go up north for like 2 months in the receptions, and then you hit the program. So I wound up doing like a year and change altogether. But I was like, yo, I gotta complete the program because if I don't, I'm gonna have to wind up doing like 4 years. And plus, all the time, I'm walking through the yard of the reception, Ulster County and shit like that. And they're like, yo, we just seen you on TV at the Fight Club shit. Battle me. I'm battling people in the yard, doing all types of shit. But I know my buzz is getting up, so I'm like, yo, let me complete this. I did my best, and I completed that shit. So I wound up only doing like a year and change. And then I came home. That shock program ain't no jokes. Sometimes I think back like, damn, lucky I had the shit motivating me to come home, the Fight Club shit, because if I didn't, I would have just been, man, fuck this. I'll do my time. Because you're doing 4 years, but you're just chilling. You know what I'm saying? You get calm with that boot camp. You got to wake up at 5 in the morning, fucking shave your whole face every day, fucking work out for an hour, run like 3 miles every day, fucking, you get 3 meals a day, 5 a.m., 12 a.m., and like 5 p.m. There's no commissary. You can't buy no commissary. You get a visit once every 2 weeks, and you make a phone call once every 2 weeks. So that shit is like crazy. And I completed it. And I came home, and I went on parole for a little bit, and that's it.
So how'd you actually get caught, and how long were you on the run?
I was on the run for over 4 years, and I think like housing police caught me, like the welfare office or something. I don't fucking know. I was doing some shit. I don't fucking some bullshit, some simple shit.
And they made a call on you.
Yeah, they ran my name. They said, "Give me your ID." Ran my name, and I'm like, it was like these ain't real cops, but they was real cops, and they fucking.
You gotta come with us.
It was like they came. They hit me with the okie doke. They was like, "Yo, come to our office real quick." When I got to the office, I'm sitting in the chair. They just cuffed my hand to the chair. And I was like, oh, these motherfuckers got me. Some stupid shit.
So I want to ask you, is Rikers more crazy than the MDC, the Manhattan Detentional, where Diddy is currently housed?
I never been to MDC. I actually, I never been to MDC. I got arrested in Manhattan before, but I just went to the bullpens. The MDC, I never really stayed there. Rikers Island is gladiator school, man. If you could go two ways. You could go there with your chest out, and they're gonna test you immediately, or you could go just chilling, like, yo, I don't want a problem, but if there's a problem, we'll get to that. Old timers used to tell me when I was in Rikers, we like your style, shorty. I was young. It was like, you stay to yourself. You know, I had commissary, so I didn't have to bother nobody for cigarettes. I didn't have to bother nobody for food, nothing. I always had my own, so I just stayed to myself. Like, if you fuck with me, then we'll deal with it. But when you want some shit like that, it never really happens. Like, people respect that type of shit. Just stay to yourself, wait to get bailed out, and you'll be all right.
What do you think about the retired warden saying that P. Diddy is an official gang target?
Absolutely. P. Diddy is a world-recognized figure. So if you got somebody that's a fucking bum their whole life, has no claim to fame, nobody will ever know their name. They're locked up in Manhattan, coming down for court, and they got a life sentence. Nope, when they die, they're gonna be fucking forgotten for life. Nobody's gonna even know they existed. If I cut P. Diddy in his face, people are gonna remember my name. You know what I'm saying? Like Orlando Anderson. We wouldn't have known his fucking name if he didn't kill Pac. You know what I'm saying? We would have had no idea he even existed in this world. He's dead now. You know what I'm saying? But because he killed Pac, his name lives forever. Same thing with Diddy. You fucking stabbed Diddy, you killed Diddy, you fucking cut Diddy. Your name's gonna be known forever. And that gives you props in the jail too. Oh shit, that's the dude that cut Diddy. Hey, give him some soups, yo, he did. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. That goes with any celebrity. That's not just Diddy. Any celebrity that goes in there.
Do you think money will help him? Can he pay for the protection?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because then you got fucking wolves in there, and you got fucking connivers that all they got to their name is their reputation. All they got to their name is that they're tough. They ain't got nobody looking out for them. They don't got no money. They got nothing in there. They got nobody looking out for them on the outside. They see somebody like Diddy, they're like, yo, this is my meal ticket. I protect Diddy. Like, I'm eating good every night. You know what I'm saying? I might get fucking a guard might show us her tits. I mean, he might fucking guard and pass off to me. Who knows? You know, the possibilities are endless. So yeah, I'm gonna hold them down because I'm gonna eat good. I ain't got nobody looking out for me. You know, why not? So absolutely, it goes both ways.
So I want to talk about your relationship with the late, great DJ K. Slay.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace. You know, it wasn't hard to see that Slay saw something in you. Could you tell me a cool story or something you could share about Slay?
Slay was the man. So Slay, I never had met him until one day my man Ron Mills from Sirius XM hit me up and was like, yo, I got a slot. It was like 4 PM. He was like, yo, I got a slot for you tonight at 8 o'clock. We need somebody to come up and rhyme on K. Slay down. You got bars? I was like, I always got bars. And I went up there, and that was my first time meeting K. Slay, and it's one of my more famous freestyles. I bodied it. Raekwon called after, was like, yo, this kid killed it. And from that point, K. Slay was like, yo, you go whenever to come up here. And then I started going up there on a regular basis. And then one night, I did another show up there. Me and all my people, no. I'll tell you what it was. I was eating at Del Frisco's, which is right next to Sirius XM. So me and all my people was just eating at Del Frisco's. We come out, and K. Slay is walking with like 3 bitches, bad bitches.
Straight stunt.
Right? Yeah, straight stunt. My man's like, oh, Slay, he's talking to one of the girls, and Slay either told the bitch, like, Slay was like, yo, come here, walk a straight line. He did some pimp this chick, where she was like, my man was saying something to her. I guess he must have seen, like, shorty was giving my man some love. Stopped her right there in her track. Yo, come here, walk a straight line. Made the bitch walk a straight line. Then she stood right behind him and then say another word to my man. It was like some real pimp. I was like, oh, Slay really got it like that. And yeah, they threw me on the 200 deep joint. And Slay was just always somebody that was accessible, especially if he with you and he knew you was a real rapper, like if you really had bars, and because he comes from that golden era where it was like you really had to rap, and if he knew you really could rap, all it was like a text or email with your new, and he was playing it on Hot 97. He was the first one to play me on Hot 97, actually, and you know, it was always an open door with him, especially for real spitters or real mother. Even if you couldn't rap, but you was a real dude in the streets and you rapped, he would play it too. You know what I'm saying? He was an open door, man. Slay was a good person, somebody very necessary for the culture, and he's very sadly missed.
So I want you to tell me about your merch. First of all, the slogan, FYL. It stands for Fuck Your Life.
Yep. Well, we started when all of us was rapping, like, and we was just like, yo, what we gonna call ourselves? And we already was saying like, yo, go to the store, go get me a Dutch, man, fuck your life. Something happened, we don't like, yo, fuck your life. And then we was like, yo, we gonna call ourselves? I was like, fuck your life. We the fuck your lifers. You know what I'm saying? So I always knew, once I started making t-shirts back early. As soon as I started rapping, I was like, I know people will wear a shirt that says fuck your life. You know, even if they don't like me, they just would buy a shirt that just says fuck your life on it. And it was true. I would make shirts and they would sell out. And I always knew that it was immediate. So that, you know, I wasn't a rapper that was gonna be like, I'm gonna put Nems on my shirt. Nah, just put fuck your life. Even if you don't like me, you might still buy a shirt. And then 2016, I started working sanitation. In like 2013, there was a city job. And I was like, I can't, you know, hustle. I already was clean for a couple years. I was like, I can't hustle. I gotta be, you know, do the right thing. But the sanitation shit ain't making the money I thought it was. And, you know, you have to work your way up to top pay. And 2016, I was like, I'm gonna rap. I'm gonna do freestyles on the gram, do some features. But I'm gonna just chill. I'm not gonna put out no album. I'm gonna just focus on making dope merch. Like quality shit that I would wear. Shit that I would want to wear, you know what I'm saying? Like good quality shit. And I started dropping like limited shit where every week I would drop a new piece. And then once I dropped it, once it sold out, not even my mother could get it. So you build a demand. And then I started going hood to hood. Just that would be my thing. I would be like trapping. Like instead of selling drugs, I would sell t-shirts. Somebody from the Bronx would hit me and be like, yo, I want to buy 5 shirts. All right, bet. Or yo, I want a shirt. Where you at? Queens. I'm not coming to Queens for one shirt. If you buy fucking 5 shirts, 3 hats, I'll definitely come through. Then they call your man. Yeah, all right, I'll take it. Go to Queens. Go all over. You know what I'm saying? And then during the pandemic, we made the website, fyl.nyc, which is still going to this day. And that shit made like 6 figures fucking within like the first 90 days. And I was like, oh, we got something, especially with the stimulus checks and everything. But during the pandemic, I was outside meeting people too. I didn't stay inside at all during the pandemic. I was outside meeting people right over here with gloves on. Here's the new merch that just dropped. And then this store was a bullshit like phone store over here. And I was like, this shit's gonna close down soon. I never even heard of the phone company that it was. It was some bullshit. I was like, this store's gonna close down soon. And I'm gonna take the store. I talked to the owner of the building. And I was like, yo, when they close down, I want the spot. And then they closed down. A crackhead had robbed it. I don't know what happened with that. But the people was like, we don't want this no more. And then I was like, I'll take the store. And it's been like that. We almost 2 years now we've been here. I'm right on Mermaid Avenue. And then, you know, and then if they can't make it to the store, you can go on the website. And, it's, you know, the merch brings in more money than, the merch is a daily money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've seen that with guys like Wallow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Schooling me to the game on that. What made you realize I don't want to be an online retailer? I want people to be able to pull up to my store and be able to buy stuff.
Like we said, with the with the bing bong shit and the don't ever disrespect me, people would come in here ready. Like we would see people from fucking Florida come over here, people from Norway, from fucking Germany. You know, they'd be like, yo, open your trunk. I would open my trunk. I used to have a store in the back of my pickup. So, you know, just transferred it to a brick and mortar, man. That's success.
When did you see the popularity of Bing Bong take effect? Like, can you explain that whole thing to me?
Absolutely. So we started doing these fucking. Well, really, it came from before I had the store. Every weekend, I would drop new merch. So I would get the merch from my fucking embroiderer every Friday. So Saturday mornings, I would line up all the new merch that was available in my living room, in my house. And I would just show people, like, yo, this is what's for sale this weekend. I'm doing drops all weekend. Bang, check this. Bang, bang. New shit. Bang, bang. And then one day I was just feeling fucking funny. And I was like, bing, bang, check this. Bing, bang, bing, bang, bing, bang. And then people kept saying it. Then we kept saying it in the hood for a minute. And then the Side Talk kids came and we did an episode with them and I said it. And then that shit just fucking took off. But it didn't take off immediately. Like, it took off, like, within ourselves. We were saying it. Then I did another Side Talk episode where we were saying it. And then that was in, like, April. The whole summer had passed. And then, like, probably, like, November, those fucking Side Talk videos just started taking off where TikTok started going crazy with them. I don't know. Somebody, like, a account that I don't even know. They didn't even have no videos. They just posted the 2 Side Talk videos I did. And them shits got millions of views. And then people started doing the voiceovers. And I was like, oh, shit. I quit my sanitation job. I quit the day the president said it. When the president did the bing bong shit, the voiceover shit, I was like, I ain't never going back to the sanitation shit. I was in my house with a merch all over my house because the website was going crazy. Like, I had never seen nothing like this. Made like $20,000 a day during the height of the bing bong shit. Where I was just like, I had people at my house helping me pack the shit because at this time I was still packing it myself. And then we sat down for lunch and I started seeing like my DMs when I opened my Instagram. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Seeing it, the president said, yo, bing bong or whatever he said, him and the Jonas Brothers. From that point on, I was like, man, I'm not packing this shit no more. Y'all do this shit, I'll pay y'all. I'm never going back to sanitation. And then I just started getting mad club bookings and fucking strip club bookings where I would make more in one night than I did in a month in sanitation. And then, you know, the money was already coming in with the merch before the Bing Bong shit. And I already had Bing Bong on a shirt. I had the song Bing Bong that was on my album that came out in August. So that was like 2 months before the shit really went viral. So I had the song in place. You know what I'm saying? So everything it was just like worked out perfect timing.
So is there a specific meaning to it, or is it just a
it's just
word?
like, yo, this shit is fire. Bing bong. I don't know. It's just like, it's an adjective. You know what I'm saying? If you wasn't good in English, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? It just means you can just say bing bong was whatever. You get punched in the face. Bing bong. Just fuck the bitch. Bing bong. You know what I'm saying? Anything. I don't know.
The people want to know, what is Nems binging? What is Nems bonging?
Anything possible. Whatever's making me money as I'm binging and I'm bonging, all of that. One thing it's not is, I heard mad times, it's the train doors. She ain't got nothing to do with the train doors, bro. I ain't ride the train in fucking 15 years. You know what I'm saying? It had nothing to do with the train doors. People be wanting to be that. You know, oh, it says the train door sound. Bing bong. Nah, if I would have said fucking ding ding, they would have said the same thing. No, the train door sound ding ding. You know what I'm saying? So, and the Don't Ever Disrespect Me shit just came out of necessity again. My album was coming out. I wasn't on no label. I was like, yo, I gotta promote this shit. How am I gonna promote this album coming out? And we were right here in front of this barbershop before we had the store. And I just turned my phone on. Yo, don't disrespect my album coming out in 7 days, looking like fucking Super Mario. Da da da. And then I was like, don't disrespect my shit in 6 days coming out. And I did it for the whole week when my album was coming out. And then by the time the album was coming out, it was like, yo, we kind of don't want your album to come out, man. We kind of want you to keep making these videos. And I was like, I got something here too. And I just kept up with it. And it just took off too. And it was a perfect timing thing, man. When it's meant to be, when you put in work for so long, man, shit just starts falling in place. When you're consistent and you've been, dedicated to this shit just happens. And I always had mad shit in the stash. Like I had the whole album with me and Scram Jones that got me the 3-album deal with Paul Rosenberg in the stash when the shit was happening. I met with mad labels, Republic, fucking all types of different labels. Rosenberg just came with the right shit. It's crazy. Fucking a decade later, after getting banned from Shady, the same guy that banned me signed me. That's the testament to just keep working with your head down, and the right shit's gonna happen, man.
So how did the signing go down with Goliath?
Rosenberg came right here. We signed on this desk right here. We brought this desk to the boardwalk right in front of the parachute jump. We signed the contract right there, man. So what happened with Goliath is Paul had started following me on the gram. And I'm a big believer, like my gram is not, I don't take that shit as a joke. I run it like a business. And I believe that once somebody follows me, I got them. Because they're going to see what I'm really about. They watch my stories, they see, I take this shit seriously, And I asked Paul early when he first started following me, manage me. He was like, nah, I'm not managing nobody no more. I got enough on my plate. And then Scram Jones, we was working on this album, Rise of the Silverback, and Scram is very close with Paul. So he was like, when we finished the album, he was like, yo, I want to play it for Paul. We played the album, and Paul was like, what do you guys want from this? We told him how much money we wanted. We told him, what the looks we wanted for it. And he was like, I can make that happen for you. Give me a couple months. And I was like, all right, bet. And he was a man of his word. A couple months, he came through, gave me a contract, 3-album deal, sent it to my lawyers. Everything looked good. And Rosenberg been a man of his word ever since I signed with him. We dropped Rise of the Silverback last year, and now next up we got America's Sweetheart. That's the next album coming out.
Best advice Paul Rosenberg's ever given you?
I don't really get advice from him, man. When I'm with him, I be asking him mad shit stories behind the scenes. What happened? What really happened with this? You like this guy? I get mad information. Like I could sit with Paul and not talk about fucking anything going on with my shit. For Malachi, I just be soaking game up. One conversation I did have with him, he was just genuine. He was like, yo, it was something about money, but not with me. We was talking, he was like, yo, Nems, I'd rather be successful and see you be successful than make another $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Because he's already at the point where he's, I would assume, set for life. You know what I'm saying? And he just kept it real, like, yo, Nems, what makes me happy now in the game, like, that's what it was. I asked him, I was like, yo, does this shit even excite you anymore? Like, you've done everything with him. You've done, a million things with him. Does dropping albums still excite you? He was like, absolutely. We love this shit. He was like, with you, I want to see, I want to help you succeed and get to the next level. That would make me more happy than making $1 million. And you grow up seeing guys like this, and you don't really know the type of character they are in real life. And some rappers you meet and they're fucking cornballs. Some rappers you meet, they're fucking lame as fuck, and they're such a letdown. And then there's some guys you meet like Paul, like Ghostface, like Raekwon, like a lot of these guys, solid motherfuckers, and you be like, oh, all right. But there's some you meet that's like, damn, you a letdown. There's also, on the flip side, there's a lot of people you meet that like, this is a solid motherfucker right here.
You're continuously going viral off the Don't Disrespect Me videos. In these videos, you let your guard down and you allowed the people to see a side of you that they don't normally see. Mm-hmm. And that's what made it great. How come it's okay to be funny?
Because so many rappers are scared to be. So many rappers are scared to be themselves. Like I said before, man, there's a strength in vulnerability. Everybody out here is vulnerable, man. Everybody out here goes through shit. Everybody out here has a funny side. Everybody out here has a mean side. But it's okay to be all right, to be yourself, man. It's okay to smile. I'm not a gangster rapper, but I make aggressive, hardcore rap music. I don't live like that every day. I'm not walking up, yo, motherfucker. And there's certain rappers that do that, and they're the worst type. You're like, man, come on, bro, with this fucking act. Nobody walks around mad 24/7. And if you do, I feel sorry for you. Because that's not the way to go through life. But you have to show every side of you, man. People love that shit. Why do people love DMX so much? Because he was vulnerable. He cried in front of you. He prayed in front of you. You saw his downfalls. Why do people love M so much? Because he fucking tells you his problems with his moms. He goes through shit. Like the best artists are the ones that are vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? It's not the ones that are fucking Mr. Thug 24/7. Nah, it's cool to be yourself, man. Nobody else like you. Be yourself, man. Fuck that. If they don't like it, see, that's one side of me being homeless and going through it and being an addict and being. I seen like when I was at that level, everybody treated me like shit. When I come now, there's nothing nobody could do to me that was worse than those days. So if I show you I'm myself, if I show you I'm funny, and I show you I'm vulnerable, there's nothing you could say that was worse that people were saying about me that was actually true back then. You know what I'm saying? This shit is a piece of cake now.
All right, so I'm going to ask you, as a New Yorker, Dipset or G Unit? And that includes everything: drip, music, and impact on the culture.
Shit. I thought you was going to say the Locks. Dipset or G Unit? See, Dipset's reign was way longer than G Unit, I feel. G Unit had a 2-3 year run, but it was mostly 50. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it was Lloyd Banks. You know, Yayo's my guy. Yayo, you know, but Yayo was like 50's man. Banks was like the bar guy, but Dipset was like a different era, man. Dipset was a different movement because what they did with fashion. G Unit didn't really do with fashion. Like they came out with their own shit. Yeah, I had G Unit shirts, all of that shit. But Dipset made you want to dress like them. They weren't selling you Maury. They wasn't selling you fucking the rock star fucking shit. You just wanted to dress like them. You know what I'm saying? And that's always come from Harlem, that type of swag. So in terms of that, and their music they got so many classics. Both G Unit, but I would have to say Dipset. Now, if it was a versus, I don't know neither. But if you're just asking Dipset or G Unit, who had as a New Yorker more effect on New York, it has to be Dipset.
You know, you had a record with Dave East, New York is Killing Me,
and Uncle Murder.
Yep. And that joint had some dope bars on it where Dave East like literally shouted out all the groups, you know, from New York, like, you know what I mean, Real Locks Baby, so shout out the Rough Riders, Terror Squad, Diplomats. I wanted to ask you, who are your top 5 groups to ever come out of New York?
LOX, Dipset, G Unit, Terror Squad. Terror Squad, especially me being a young Puerto Rican, Terror Squad was everything to us back then, man. Because there was no Puerto Ricans, and they was respected. They really like gave it up. You know what I'm saying? So definitely Locks. I mean, I guess you could put the Rough Riders in with the Locks, Dipset, G Unit, Terror Squad, and of course the Wu. The Wu is forever. Wu might be number 1, man.
Yeah.
Is that all 5 boroughs? Let me see. Wu-Tang, Staten Island, Terror Squad, the Bronx, Manhattan is Dipset, Queens. Damn, we missing Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Damn, we missing Brooklyn. Brooklyn never had a crew really. Man, I'm sure they did. I'm sure it's fucking up in my mind, but that's crazy. We got all 4 boroughs in Yonkers, and I left out my own borough. That's crazy.
Shout out to NYB, Junior Mafia.
Yeah.
All right, but also, so while I got you here, man, top 5 rappers overall.
Big Pun was always my favorite. Big Pun, Ghostface, Sticky Fingers. Sticky Fingers was up there. Cameron back in the day too. Cameron had his shit. Big L, Big Pun. It changes with the days. Prodigy. I can't just combine it to the different day. I might say a different person, but as far as people who influence me, Big Pun, Big L. Big Pun because he was just ill. Everything he did, everything he spit was ill. Big L because every bar was a punchline. He didn't waste no bars or nothing. Sticky Fingers because his bars was crazy and they hit and he said some off the rail shit. Prodigy in his prime was kind of unfuckable. From Infamous to Murder Music, that Prodigy right there was like top notch. Keep It Thorough, all of that. Ghostface, just his style, the way he attacks the track. You know what I'm saying? Ghostface, splash some fast on the hype verse, my Glock verse. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Ghostface is one of my, people I fuck with the most in this industry. So I got to throw Ghostface in there. Supreme Clientele is one of my favorite albums, top 3 albums of all time.
Nems, man, I really appreciate you taking the opportunity, giving me the opportunity, I should say, to come speak with you today, man. You're doing great things in the industry, and I wish you more success because I know you're striving to it, man, every single day.
Absolutely. Tried to catch me out there. See, you can't catch me talking shit about people. Fuck your life. Fuck everybody's life. Fuck everybody. Fuck your life. It's Gorilla Nems. I'm live with Mikey T. You heard? Don't ever disrespect me.